Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. The Newsfirst team, I'm Jad Abdin.
And I am Kenza Farooq. Let's take a look at your headlines.
News First headline.
In your local news, Sri Lanka introduced vehicle import policy. 39-year-old killed in a shooting in Mahabagi. Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment calls to stop Sri Lankan women from going overseas as domestic workers. In our international news, US says Russia building space nuclear weapon. Putin denies claim. Finally, in your sports, Ratcliffe takeover of Manchester United minority stake completed.
Now bringing you that news in detail. Now, over the past few months, we have witnessed a lot of crime taking place in the country, and today we witnessed yet another shooting in Mahabagi. Now, bringing that to news to you in detail. A 39-year-old has died in a shooting that took place at a meat shop at the Alpitivala Junction in Mahabagi. Now, police spokesperson DIJ Tenianet Law Nihal Talduva says the owner of the shop died in the shooting and he was a resident of Kandana. Now, two unidentified persons who arrived on a motorcycle carried out the shooting around 7:30 a.m. this morning. Now, police say the victim who sustained serious injuries died after being admitted to the Ragama hospital. Now, his remains are also placed at the morgue of the Ragama Teaching Hospital, while police also went on to say the deceased was a relative of organized criminal Valle Saranga, who is currently overseas. Now, police also said they have received information that Dubai Nipunarada, an organized criminal who had a dispute with Valle Saranga for some time, had planned the killing, and Dubai Nipuna has also fled the country.
Moving on to more local news, the Sri Lankan government is actively developing a new policy for importing vehicles into the country, according to Minister Nalin Fernando, member of the ministerial subcommittee tasked with exploring this issue. This announcement follows a recent meeting of the subcommittee chaired by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, where the need for a revised import strategy was discussed. Minister Nalin Fernando noted that the lack of a clear import policy in the past is acknowledged as a key factor contributing to inefficient and potentially unnecessary vehicle imports.
Now bringing you more news from home. Now, the Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, Manusha Nanayakara, has instructed officials to take necessary measures to stop Sri Lankan women from going overseas as domestic workers. The minister also asked the top management of Sri Lankan Bureau of Foreign Employment and the Association of Licensed Foreign Employment Agencies to submit a proposal to him in this regard as soon as possible.
Now moving on to your international news.
International news.
President Vladimir Putin says that Russia was against the deployment of nuclear weapons in space, and his defense minister flatly denied US claims that Russia was developing a nuclear capability for space. A source familiar with the matter told Reuters that Washington believes Moscow is developing a space-based anti-satellite nuclear weapon whose detonation could disrupt everything from military communications to phone-based ride services.
Sports news.
Now in sports it's football, and in football it's Manchester United. Now something a controversial topic where United fans have wanted a change in ownership after the Glazers have been keeping things of the club in their hands for almost more than 10 years. In fact, now Sir Jim Ratcliffe's deal to buy a 27.7% stake in Manchester United has been completed. Now the British billionaire's investment is worth about 1.6 billion. The Glazer family, who have owned the 20-time English champions since 2005, will retain a majority stake in the club, but Ratcliffe's Ineos Group will take control of football operations. So this is good news for Manchester United fans. It's the start of something new. And with that, we'll wrap your edition of Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Jawad Abdin.
And I am Kenza Farooq. Have a great afternoon.